Hey there guys, so for those of you who live in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a whole lot of yummy stuff to eat yesterday, regardless of what your dietary preferences have to be. Today's tutorial is going to be on the 5-beat weave. Now, I've already done a tutorial on the 3-beat weave, and you would think that the 5-beat weave isn't that too terribly much different. But unfortunately, it's going to involve rewiring a lot of the things that you did in your brain when you were trying to learn the 3-beat weave. Let me show you what I mean. Now, let's take it even a step further back, just to doing a 2-beat weave, yeah? Now, when you're performing a 2-beat weave, there's a moment where one of my hands crosses over my other hand, right? And you'll note, that's my right hand crossing over my left in this particular case. My right hand is essentially leading both hands over to my left-hand side. So that is, I always think of this as being native and non-native. That is the poi that's attached to a given side. In this case, the right side, this is your native side. When that poi is on the other side of your body, it's the non-native side. So when performing a 2-beat, and indeed a 3-beat weave as well, what you're always doing is using a poi to drag both hands over to the non-native side, right? The right always leads to the left always leads to the right. When you're getting into a 5-beat weave, however, you are completely changing that game. Now, instead of your right hand leading you left, your left hand leading you right, you're now letting your right hand lead you right, and your left hand lead you left. This means that your poi are going to curl around each other one extra time as you're performing this beat. And unfortunately, it is a little bit uncomfortable to learn how to do this. Nonetheless, it's one of those necessary evils of poi. So to start with, put down your poi and just for a moment, familiarize yourself with the basic move of a 3-beat weave, wherein you're always switching which hand is on top, yes? Okay, so let's say we're going over to the right-hand side of our body right here, in which case my right hand is going to go over top, yes? We know then that the right hand is going to go down and around like this. But since we're going to try and do this as a 5-beat, something different has to happen. Mainly, the poi in this left hand has to come around. And unfortunately, this is the hardest thing to learn about the 3-beat weave, is to let yourself have an extra beat for the hand that's leading to get over, right? Well, now your problems are doubly more complicated because you've got to do it twice in a row. Now, instead of your right hand leading over, your right hand has to go back underneath your left arm. And in fact, your left arm now is going to be the one that pushes both hands over. You'll note I'm really having to twist up my hands in order to get into this position, which is really exaggerated, but this is how it's going to have to be when you're first starting out. What you're going to want to try and achieve with this is create a hand position where the native side hand is reached so far down and around that you can see your index finger pointing out. And know that what's going to be happening there is you're going to be doing an extra rotation, yeah? Once that's the case, you're going to switch around and repeat the same experiment on the opposite side. Now I'm looking to be able to see my left hand's finger popping out where I can see it past my arm, yeah? You can practice this with a single poi at a time. Say with my right hand, as I'm on the right-hand side of my body, I'm going to give myself the opportunity to have an extra spin where it is rotating as it's wrapped around my left arm. Once it reaches that position, I can stick it around. Likewise, when I get over to the left-hand side of my body, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep wrapping until I can get my right hand poi on top of my left hand in order to drag it back, right? So we're going to let it sit until the left hand can curl around, and then we're going to let the left hand sit until the right hand can get on top. You're then going to do that for the other side, of course. You're going to practice getting it so that, you can get that right hand all the way around, or rather your left hand all the way around your right hand, so you can see your fingers, and you can keep it rotating. Now your right hand is going to lead over to the right-hand side, your hands are going to unwrap, and now you're looking for that moment when you can see your right hand poking out from beneath both hands, and you're going to let your left hand lead you back the other way. When you put all that together, it results in a massive amount of twisting and untwisting. And as you get it down, you'll find that you don't quite have to contort your arms so much in order to hold it together. But what you are going to have to do is get a little bit used to twisting up your arms in this way in order to make it happen. 5-beat weaves are pretty awesome because they basically give you an extra second to think about whatever you happen to be doing before you do it, especially in a wall playing kind of place. So I tend to use them very frequently when I'm just passing back and forth in kind of a waist wrap kind of place, and I'm like, what do I want to do next? Well, let me give myself an extra second to think there, and the 5-beat weave definitely gives you that opportunity. Back in the day, a lot of people used to like to do 5 and up to 7 and 9-beat weaves to kind of show their chops with poi. It's not done as so much anymore, if for no other reason than it involves contorting the body in ways that aren't particularly attractive in a performance context. But it is a great skill to have because it'll allow you to get around into weird contorted shapes that you'll need later on for inversions and things like that. So, 5-beat weaves. Hope that helps some of you guys out there. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.